The German precision began reminding me too much of my work week, so I set off on my favorite type of travel, rough. Painfully underprepared and painfully underinformed, I went to the station hoping to hop onto the Moscow-bound train in order to detrain at the Lithuanian border and work backwards toward the capital. No luck. Not only did I not even find which queue to wait for a ticket, I would have had to buy a bunk in Platzkart for a 2-hour journey. I am, however, 2 years older and 2 years more demented than I was during my last trips on Platzkart class from Yakutia to Kemerovo in 2023. But I vividly recall that 20 minutes before departure, any remaining available bunks are exclusively in the snoring section. So I abbreviated my plans and boarded a local electric train to the town of Gusev. The town of Gusev, which, I had read, was celebrating its birthday that weekend. With no internet, I said a brief prayer that I would find a mid-afternoon bus northwards to a different border town with a rail connection, the town of Sovietsk. My spirituality is handicapped by 30 years of devout atheism, and my prayer was rewarded with the fact that the only meaningful departure from Gusev to Sovietsk was not hours but minutes after my arrival. Gusev will celebrate more birthdays, but I might never again see Sovietsk, so I sprang onto the countryside bus and instantly savored my autonomy and unique location on the planet. My research had told me there was only one evening departure per week from Sovietsk to the capital, but from this train station, I began to doubt. Of course, my question was answered only tangentially by many. There are buses every hour, and one improvised taxi driver was driving. Did I not want to go with him? Dependable public transportation is the chief, most important improvement of Russia over America. The fact that a lot of the public transport in Russia is by rail is maybe my favorite part of travel in Russia. Yes, I obviously could hit the road, but then I could have also visited America this week. And who the hell wants to do that, especially in 2025? I persisted with my handicapped Russian and discovered that, yes, there was a departure from that train station at 6:05 p.m., and yes, they sell tickets on board. The bystanders maybe thought, what a dork, what a spy, but relieved, I continued. In the border town of Sovietsk, a furious railway bridge over the Neman River greets the eye in one direction over the border. How many trains cross that beautiful sculpture daily? Yearly? Since 2022? The name Sovietsk, like all local toponyms, is newer than the unforgettable victory. Before, the town was called Tilsit, and, you betcha, the origin of Tilsiter cheese is in Russia. During the 2 world wars, my dad's family mined copper in Montana. My maternal grandfather drove an ambulance and was a cook, and my mother grew up partially on US bases in Germany in the 1950s. My personal World War legacy is therefore a pale hologram compared to the real loss of 27 million Soviets. Our current peace in Europe, as perforated and fragile as it is is still thanks to the sacrifices of every family in the former Soviet Union. Maybe, soon, America will stop seeing Europe as its weekend piñata, because one day, without correction, the piñata will surely burst. I stumbled upon the Queen Louisa Bridge and realized that the Prussians exported lots and lots of cheese to the Baltics. The beauty compelled me to delete some work apps and begin photographing. The beautiful historical bridge is, in 2025, an empty parking lot, partially protected by barbed wire. An active checkpoint in downtown Sovietsk marks the end of the bridge. I discovered all this while filming. History is never distant in Russia, and in the borderlands, it's always even closer. The victory parks in the town of Sovietsk are immense and give the impression of being in Moscow.
Жители города Советска стали возмущаться и стали говорить: вы украли нашего лося. Но поскольку поворот головы-то уже не изменить, да, было понятно, что все-таки лось-то не тот. И только в 2001 году, наконец-то, Густав вернулся в свое место. Это было очень торжественно. Выкопали огромную яму, заливали бетоном, все бросали монетки на счастье. И присутствовал на этом событии некий Хорст Бертинайт, который еще подростком вместе с своими товарищами завершил обряд крещения лося. Его облили пивом и нарекли Густава. Вот оттуда его имя. И в начале 90-х Хорст Бертинайт посетил, это был период ностальгического туризма, он посетил наш зоопарк, и вот какие слова он написал.
The only weekly train departure was no myth, and I got a seat, a ticket, and finally a ride back to Kaliningrad.